Hello, this is Cindy Tonkin presenting with Presence. When you have a structure to support you that leverages the learning and information taking in structures of your audience, everything gets easier and your presence is stronger. So we're now at the final step of what next. In the what next step, a number of things you can do in your preparation that will make everything easier. One of them is, you remember that in the beginning with the why frame, you actually made a promise. You actually said, here's how the future is going to be better with what we've given, and here's how the problems you've had in the past are going to disappear. In the what next frame, you go back to that and go, so now that you've discovered how to eliminate frogs from your front yard, you will see how you can have a beautiful front yard, and those problems you had in the past with frogs and toads and ugly princesses will go away. So you return to that promise. You also, in this frame, take the time to debrief what happened in the how frame, which, as you remember, was created in a pre-brief from the what frame. So in this frame, you're actually connecting to the promise in this frame, the exercise in that frame, and the data that's in this frame. So you can see why this is a really important wrap-up, and this is where it's the most exciting part to come together. And then you need to future pace. Now, maybe you don't know what future pacing is. Let's just do a little example of future pacing. A future pace is an anchor. It is essentially a time bomb that if this is now and this is the future, let's say we've just taught them how to eliminate frogs from their backyard. They want to imagine that future that we've spoken about already, where in the future there are no frogs in their backyard, only handsome princes or dancing princesses. So we give them a mental journey. So take yourself now into that next time that you walk into your backyard and you say to yourself, I'm going to sit on the balcony, and notice that you only hear the sounds of birds and the sounds of luscious royalty walking around. And so even now, as you come back to the present moment and recognize that we've spent a lot of time in the what frame, doing the things that we did in the what frame, and in the how frame, doing the things that we did in the how frame, that now you have all the tools that you need to make that splendid future a reality. So it's a time bomb that when they go to that future place, something will trigger it. Something will go, oh, I learned something. Now let's put it in the real world. Let's say you've just taught them how to structure their learning, for example. Structure their presentations so that things will happen. So a future pace for you of this information would go something like this. So even now, as you imagine tomorrow, next week, the day after tomorrow, presenting to that exco or to that board, presenting that academic paper, notice how when you look around in that future, you are recognizing the different ways that each of your audience are paying attention. And they are paying attention because you have designed the perfect presentation that not only has the information they need, not only has the practical application that they need, but it also promises them something that you can deliver in your presentation. So now as you go back to the future, tomorrow, even as you walk into that room, you'll remember your Wonder Woman stance. You remember putting your presence into your toes, that twinkle toes move. That means that you just begin your presentation as you mean to end it perfectly. That's our future pace. On the page below this video, you will find a link to get a PDF of the scans of all these yellow pages that I have drawn for you during this particular segment of the program. If you have any Q&As, bring them on Thursday. The next video will talk to you about how to make sure the audience is listening, because you know you want them to. Thank you.